Hey, hello, 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 hello. Um, let's make it a good morning and a good day. My name is Holly. I'm a psychic medium, and this is going to be a quick short video, and then I'll make another one with the actual reading for the day. This is a Q&A because I received some comments and questions, and you guys are, again, they are such lovely, wonderful comments. Thank you so much for sharing pieces of your lives and your stories. And for those of you who have had loss, and I mean like serious loss that no one should ever experience in this lifetime, I am so sorry for your loss. I haven't responded individually just because yesterday was a wild ride of a day. Nothing bad, but just kind of when you feel like you're in a vacuum and out of time and space and trying to get stuff done. And anyway, but the readings yesterday were interesting and surprising, and I had some questions about them. And so, one, the weeping woman, I Googled that yesterday at some point in the day. I did end up Googling it to find out, okay, is that a real thing? Turns out it is. There were different things that hit for different reasons. But what I'm going to, just my take on that, when I didn't dig deep into it, I know someone grew up, a couple of you grew up with that legend. It's not my part of the country, so I didn't know anything about it. And she came through, I think, as a facilitator. The original Weeping Woman came through as a facilitator to bring these other women through. And someone mentioned the Highway of Tears, and I'm not familiar with that name for it, but I'm pretty sure that's the, it's a path that many women have, well, anyway, it's a lot of indigenous tribal affiliated women in this country, in America, go missing on a regular basis, and that's been going on for a really long time. The incidence of violent crime and violent crime is disproportionately high among that community, and so I did feel like it was a line of those women crossing, and they are still staying very close to me, but they have transitioned, the ones that were ready and willing to move on. So I think the original Weeping Woman, who was she? I couldn't tell you exactly, but I do know from what little tiny bit I read after the fact, later in the day yesterday after the readings, I think the retelling of the original Weeping Woman's story was a misogynistic one. I do not think she was responsible for any of the deaths around her. I believe it was, even to avoid abuse, I believe it was the abuser, and I believe, as very often happens, history is retold in not a kind way or an accurate way. So that's why she was so angry, and that's why she came through to help facilitate for these women who were lost and forgotten, the ones who ended up moving on later. So I did some work later in the day on that too, and I just want to thank you all for your thoughts and your prayers and your well wishes for all of those lovely, beautiful souls. Okay. All right, and then someone else mentioned, and I've got to tell you all, you guys have some of the best YouTube names. I enjoy looking at the YouTube names. And so someone else had a comment about kind of being a skeptic, and you know what? Good for you. You should be a skeptic. I'm a skeptic, and it's, and I do this. So there are wonderful people out in the world who are truly driven by a need to be part of service and spirit. Now, that doesn't mean if you hire someone for a reading, you don't need to pay them. There's got to be an equal give and take. We're not martyrs, and I'm not doing private readings right now, but I promise you, I know it's taking forever. I really am going to make a resources video. It's coming soon. I can feel it. It's just still not quite the right time yet. So anyway, but yeah, there are some unscrupulous people, and there are some truly just heaven sent, God sent people that will cross your paths. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't take responsibility for our own lives. And again, someone else said something about unfolding path, question mark. Bruh, that's just the name of the tarot deck I was using. Okay? And as far as fate, I think we have a potential, we have potentialities that we can fulfill or not, but we all have to do our own work. How many times and how many ways, y'all, can I say you've got free will? You've got free will. Okay? You've got free will. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to anyone. Just at least try to listen to your higher self, you know, the part of you that is most connected to the divine, because sometimes our own baggage gets in our own way. We need to take accountability for our actions, our thoughts, and there you go. So I don't know what to tell you. As far as why people linger sometimes before coming forward to see about crossing or try to cross over when they're ready, and sometimes they're never ready. It has to kind of be forced because they're wreaking havoc and doing damage. But if they're a person in spirit, so the reason why they wait so long, I don't know. That may not be the answer everyone wants to hear. One thing I will tell you that I do know from personal experience, just from my own near-death experience, time is different when you're dead. Okay? It's like boom, fast. It's a fraction of the time we experience while we're in this incarnation. Time is different. So when I was on that gurney, the second time I died in the car wreck, when I was on that gurney in the ambulance and I died, just total, no heart activity, nothing. I thought I was there maybe a couple of minutes. It was 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later before they pulled out and got to the hospital. And even the attending emergency room nurses were like, what took you so long? Of course, they thought they were whispering, and I'm like, yeah, I can hear you. My hearing wasn't damaged, okay? So anyway, but I thought it was kind of funny. So, you know, time is different. When we are on the other side, what might here seem like, oh, our loved one's been gone for years and years and years and years and years, and it feels like it's just yesterday that that it happened, and you're still feeling the grief and all of that. But on the other side, it really does feel just like yesterday. I mean, time is so condensed. There is no sense of time on the other side. It's here that we are bound by this sense of linear time and length of time. The best way I could describe it is the older we get, you know how people say, well, daggone, man, time's just flying by all of a sudden. Well, I think it's because we're getting older and closer to get crossing over. And so we do have a different sense of time as we get older. But anyway, so I'm trying to make this fast because I don't want it to be longer than 10 minutes. And then I'll exit out of this and then go into another reading. Okay? That's a regular reading. But I just want to thank you all so much for the comments. And hello, good morning, happy coffee time. I just got my lovely iridescent. This reminds me of the beach. This reminds me of the water and the sand. And it just brings me so much comfort and peace. So this is one of my favorite ones. And you know I love anything iridescent. So anyway, it just happy. And it feels good. It feels good in my hand. It's a nice shape. All right. I don't think there were any other big questions. Mainly just lovely, beautiful comments. And thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. You know, use your discernment. You know, use your discernment with anyone and anything you hear. Don't take anything for fact unless it feels right in your heart. But, you know, again, just we all carry around baggage. So it's hard to sometimes figure out what is our fear talking and what is that inner knowing that brings you a settled, comfortable sense of peace. So I ask that you just look for that settled, comfortable, you know, that rings a bell of truth. Even if you don't agree with it, just say, okay, I'm open to that. But again, we all have free will. And if you are in a dangerous situation, physically dangerous, from another person who is living and breathing and in this world, do not take matters into your own hand. Do not. That never ends well. Get the authorities involved. Get a private detective involved. Do whatever you need to with the resources we are given in the here and now, or just, you know, I don't know what to tell you. That is something I can't deal with. I'm not a police person. I am not a detective. I am not any of those things. I am I think I'm what you would consider the wounded healer, like so many of you guys out there too. And I just, I give messages and I help spirits across that are dead. So that's pretty much it. And on the struggle bus with everybody else. So, we just do what we can. All right, I am going to cut this off here because I think that was the main part of it. A lot of simple questions, but that were very, very good and valid questions that I thought would help a lot of people to hear. Okay, I'm going to close this one out and immediately start a new video. And love to you all. Thank you. And see you in a couple of seconds. Oh, gosh, I hope this works. All right, bye. No, didn't. Let me try again. Sometimes it pairs and sometimes it doesn't.